Hello, this is Ashley Cartwright. I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner at the Kingwood NICU. I will discuss aspects of neonatal thermoregulation during this presentation. During this presentation, we will define neonatal thermoregulation and determine what a normal temperature range for a neonate is. We will discuss the 4 different types of heat loss and how to prevent them. And finally, we will touch base on isolate or incubator functions and some troubleshooting techniques. So first off, thermoregulation refers to temperature control or regulation of the neonate. Premature infants are poor thermoregulators due to their neurologic and skin immaturity. They are dependent on external sources of heat for thermoregulation. Normal body temperatures range from 36.5 to 37.5 Celsius or 97.7 to 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. A neutral thermal environment means we are providing a regulated temperature that minimizes the neonate's metabolic rate and energy consumption. Mild hypothermia and cold stress can occur when body temperatures reach 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit or less. Neonatal thermoregulation is vital because when body temperatures are outside of the normal range, neonates start consuming their own energy sources. When energy consumption increases, oxygen requirement also increases. This is true for low temperatures as well as high temperatures. Neonatal hypothermia can cause hypoxemia, acidosis, apnea, hypoglycemia, and if prolonged or recurrent, decreased growth. Risks associated with hypothermia are IVH, clotting issues, bradycardia, shock, and eventually death if not corrected. There are 4 types of heat loss. Understanding these mechanisms will help you remember ways to mitigate the risk of heat loss. Radiation refers to the heat transferring from a warm object like the infant to a cooler object like a cold isolate wall that is not in direct contact with the infant. Convection heat loss occurs due to surrounding air, like the perception of feeling cooler on a windy day. Evaporative heat loss occurs when water evaporates from the skin. And conductive heat loss occurs when a cool object comes in direct contact with the infant, like being placed on a cold radiant warmer or blanket. Prevention of heat loss is very important for our neonates. Strategies to mitigate heat loss based on the type are listed here. Many of these examples are part of our everyday routines, but understanding the rationale behind them will solidify their importance. This is a tip sheet for isolates and radiant warmers. Ensure the temperature probe is in direct contact with the skin, abdomen if supine, or back if prone. A tip is placing the probe over a very dense area like the liver or the right upper abdomen. You should never place the probe over a bony surface such as the ribs. The reflective side of the adhesive patch should always be up and not covered by anything like the diaper or any positional aids. Do not place the probe between the neonate and the mattress. The reflective adhesive patch should be replaced when the tackiness is insufficient to hold it in place on the infant's skin. When in air mode, the neonate should be placed in clothes and swaddled. This mode is to be used as a transition from isolate to open crib, so you should be mimicking how you're wanting the baby to be in the open crib. Fluctuations in the compartment temperature are a good indication of whether the isolate needs to warm up or cool down to maintain needs. For example, if you start your 12-hour shift and your baby is only requiring 30.5 Celsius compartment temperature, but by the end of your shift, the baby's now requiring 32.5 Celsius on air mode, then that tells you that the baby somehow in the last 12 hours is now requiring more support from the isolate to keep the baby warm. Even though the baby's axillary temperature hasn't reflected it, its needs have increased. These are some screenshots from the Giraffe user manual explaining the different isolate modes. These are the references I used to create this presentation. I hope you learned something new. Now let's go effectively thermoregulate our babies.